action.
Something else.
So we're trying to give it a couple minutes. I think
try to load up.
Let everything load up, you know. So come on into the tea spot, you know. Come on into the tea spot. Grab your cup, you know. Make sure your cup is full. If you had a day like me, you want to take a couple sips. Actually, I didn't even have a day. Like, I didn't even have like a day. I actually spent the day driving a little bit, so it wasn't even like hectic. It was, you know, there was nothing, you know, wrong. But baby, here come this electronic shit coming in here. Yes, okay, so I wonder if you guys, hold on, we're gonna wait and let people come in and see. I want to know if you missed the music, because I miss the music right now. Eb Deceleb had me listening to some crazy ass shit just a minute ago. I don't even know what it was. From Wakanda.
I know, y'all. I be listening to that old school.
It was directly from Wakanda, whatever it was.
Okay, so I want us to listen to. Oh, my speaker's over there.
We're gonna listen to something now.
Oh wait. So we're not gonna do the music.
I mean, can we do the music?
Like, let's
you guys. I don't know where Eb Deceleb is right now. I've been trying to gauge where she is for like maybe an hour, 45 minutes or so. I've been trying to figure out where she at, but you know, so I'm just gonna be like this, huh? You say what?
I'm here with you.
Are you here with me?
I'm here with you.
Here with
I'm
us?
ready to turn up.
Are you here at SipsTea the Show?
I'm in the tea spot.
Are you in the tea spot?
I'm in the tea spot, and I'm ready to sip some tea. I'm ready to get into it. But before I get into that, you guys, it is Wednesday. Once again, we are here. Do apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. We're definitely up and coming progress, and we're going to continue to progress. But thank you so much for tuning in, watching, rewatching, sharing, subscribing, and all those great things to our page, YouTube page, Facebook page, as well as Instagram. Thank you so much, you guys, for continuing to watch us, and please continue to watch us. With being said, I think we're going to get right into it. I do miss the music, however, your voice is music to my ears.
Yeah.
There you go. So we got our music.
How Gemini? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Yeah, I was doing all that. I was doing all that.
I feel like you need to pass my.
I didn't really.
So I can play the birthday song.
No, that's it. That is all of this that you guys get. That's all of this that you guys get. But yes, birthday was nice, and I have to say happy Father's Day to everybody, to all the fathers out there, to all the mothers that are fathers out there. You know, it's important that we commemorate these days and things like that. We have plenty of holidays that celebrate everybody, everything under the freaking sun. But at the end of the day, our mothers and fathers, we have to celebrate them. So this year, which happens every couple years, you know, as I was growing up, my birthday fell on Father's Day. Every couple years. Now, I will tell you, it was a bitch when I was a kid. You know, it was kind of, because when you want to have sleepovers, people can't come over because they have to cook their father pancakes and shit for Father's Day. Yeah, and so, of course, your mom is not about to send you, you know, so my little sleepover, because you got to be, you know.
got to be up in the morning.
Yeah, so you got to be up in the morning with your daddy. So it was kind of bittersweet. Like, when I was little, it was a thing. It was like, okay, you know, especially if it fell on Father's Day. But no matter what I did, it would fall in there. Okay. So it might be a Saturday, you know what I mean? That kind of, my birthday's on Saturday, Father's Day. So it was always a weird thing. But as I'm an adult and stuff like that, this Father's Day was really, really special just because, you know, like, I really feel like I have an awesome dad. Shout out to my daddy. And I'm very fortunate in that. And then besides my dad, I have a lot of great male figures, male father figures that have come into my life over the years. And so, you know, on Father's Day, you remember everybody, and you can't really discount anybody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I want people not to like focus on the biology so much all the time, because sometimes there are people who don't get their real fathers. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody has come into your life and has stepped into that role and provided you with the comfort, the love, the assurances, the you know, shoulder to cry on, the words of wisdom, the things that the guides that we, you know, get from our father. Keeps having this
mothers who are playing both roles, right. You know. But then I wanted to even speak back to the fact that you said something important, because like I said, on this, I'm as real as they get, as live as they are. And I don't know my real father is, right? Never met him a day in my life. However, maybe when I was a baby, I guess I met him. But as far as me being an adult and something to remember, I've never fathered. Mm-hmm. But I have a great representation of what a father was supposed to look like. Right. And that was my dad, who I call my dad, who's actually my grandfather. But he raised me like his own. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I definitely want to shout out those people who technically maybe never met their father, mm-hmm. however, have a great and then also shout out those black
right.
What the is on my dad. Both parties,
right, and that's not even just in the gay community.
Yeah, that's like, in any community.
I think that some people, you know, took it a little bit offensively. That, you know, some people would say Happy Father's Day, for instance, in a same-sex couple, and you know, because you have your feminine, your dominant community business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if that does not pertain to your household
or affect
you, so then let them do them in their household. You know what I mean? Because you never know what that person did for that child in that, you know what I mean? And maybe that's just how they want to split it up. Maybe, you know, the other female is like, look, please don't call me your mommy, because traditionally that means I'm your nurturer, I'm your breastfeeder, I'm your this, that, and the other. And maybe there's no category for what this actual person is doing in your life. And the closest thing to that is Father's Day. And then also, you know, we can't talk about the people who, you know, like you said, the mothers that are playing mommy and daddy. There's a lot of that going on, unfortunately, as well. And if that, you know what I mean? Because let me give y'all a lie. When my children were little, I actually had, you know, their father and I were together, but still we were not together. We were not together. We were not together. And, you know, it was me and you doing whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So when I would go grocery shopping, I would go grocery shopping with my kids or whatever. And the people in the grocery store saw me all the time. But how did they see me? By myself with these kids. Meanwhile, the man is at home doing whatever he's doing. Mm-hmm. So the people in the public eye, you don't have to say anything. If you're absent from your kid's life in any kind of way, they take notice of this. So it actually stuck with me one year, just out of the blue. And I was like, no, they have, you know, and I'm thinking, because my thing,
like, yes, to the untrained eye.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like people don't know, oh, well, I need to be married. I need to have the husband and the wife.
You don't want it to look like,
you don't want it to look like a certain way. At the end of the day, live in your truth and learn by your mistakes. And if the situation is here on a platter, boom, you're always with your kids, honey. You play both.
Right.
Roles.
But I'm trying to tell you, like, it shocked the hell out of me. I'm with the man. I'm doing this, doing that. You know, whatever's going. I'm just, you know, we'll never see no. We see you with them.
And you know the church folks pay attention.
You know, so
you know they pay attention.
To her, the church folks talk about not even the church folks talk about the bags at the daggone grocery store telling you Happy Father's Day. So that kind of hit me kind of hard.
Coming on through that. Happy Father.
Yeah, you should come. You now. And I was a snack baby. I be looking back like, damn. Can you say milk, baby? No, so seriously, so I'm sure that they were taking quite a notice, like, oh, okay, looking like a damsel in distress, and to save her. You don't have to have Father's Day presents no more, baby. So, you know, that just for me. So that has been a controversy that I have seen on social media up and down my personal timeline. And my personal timeline.
I didn't see that. I didn't see
especially on my GemDTwin page. I have a mix of everybody.
Okay.
You know, I have LGBTQ community, I have completely super straight people, you know, and that's both male and female. Yes. So a lot of times I see a lot of controversy. I see the heterosexual thoughts about some of the things going on in the gay community, and also the thoughts going on in the gay community about the heterosexual community, baby. Because best believe we got tea to drop about y'all too.
Okay,
y'all not cute either.
Yeah, you ain't
you know, some things going on both sides that somebody got something to talk about. And most times it's like, especially with the LGBT community, it's like, let us live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't even worry about it. So if somebody is wishing a female happy Father's Day, let it be. You know what I'm saying?
Because, like you just said, it has no direct reflection on your life. It's not going to pay your bills anymore.
Absolutely.
Unless the electric cut off.
That was, you know, the birthday came. Happy Father's Day. All of this is going on. I'm still celebrating my birthday. You got me fucked up. I actually think I'm going to do a redo in 6 months too. I'm thinking I'm doing some other shit.
Okay, because I just asked her when she came in. You know, because she
I was like, it's
out
cute.
of town, and unfortunately, unfortunately, because I never missed a birthday since I met her. I had to go out of town as well. And I said, well, what are we doing this weekend? You know, I'm just over it.
I just say, I don't know. We might hit the happy hour. We might do this.
I asked her, so we're going to go to this
but
event.
I don't know.
She's like, I don't know.
You know, I really feel as though, you know, at this point in my life, I'm trying to pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, if it's not about SipsTea, it's not about, you know, I'm not really ready for the turn up right now.
Yeah.
You know, everybody is having birthday parties around me and things like that. And I'm just like, I want to do that. You know, I'm trying to get this coin out here in the community.
Okay.
But so with that though, I will say part of my positivity today was already to say with the Father's Day thing, stop counting your losses.
Yeah.
We focus on what we don't have or what we did not have so freaking awesome that we are mounting our losses on top of each other, negating the fact that we have a mountain of wins. And
yes.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff, like, it might not be the most comfortable win, but you're winning.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop worrying about what you don't have.
Yes.
And like I always say, this is not even my positivity. And I've said this to you before, count blessings one by one. Count your blessings. Because I've been saying it for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why I try to stay on the up and up, because, you know, at the end of the day, I could be living on the street.
Right.
I could be out here asking for money, doing this and that and the third, but instead I have my little apartment. I have my little life. That's my blessing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not out here owning houses and driving Mercedes Benz. No, but I'm out here. I need to do every day that I wake up. Thank you, God.
Absolutely.
Because now every day I have an opportunity to make a change, to make it
and
better,
grow,
to
and
get
what it is trying to do.
So, you know, I definitely agree with you on that, because we as people, we tend to focus on the negative of life, and we forget about the positive things that happen, regardless. Right. Oh, yeah, I don't have this outfit. I don't have this outfit. Do you have a roof over your head?
Right.
Check.
I mean, because some of the stuff we just put value on the crazy. On the wrong. But you know what? That actually brings me to something that I was thinking in conjunction. Because, and I'm saying this because of this, we all have to watch very carefully who our freaking role models are in life. Because you have role models, you know, people that you look to for one reason or another. Yeah. People that you look to for one reason or another. Yeah. I look up to Eb Deceleb for a lot of things. And I'm like, you know what? I love the way she does blah, blah. I love the way this person does blah, blah, blah. But watch your role models, because you end up picking up traits from your role model. And no one is perfect. So if you are harping on this one person so much, are you picking up the things the qualities that you want to have in your life? Are you a generous person? Do you model? That's not even a word. Do you model yourself out to someone who's generous? Is that person like good to other people? Figure out who you want to be first. Figure out who you want to be. I think
that goes back to watching who's in your circle.
Yeah, watching who's in your circle. Definitely. But you know how some people are in your circle. There are other people like, okay, I aspire to be like this person. Yeah. Or I aspire, you know, I dig the way. Yeah, I dig the way they do this. I'm going to try. No, baby. Watch who's in your circle, because sometimes you pick up the traits of people around you. You know, like some of those people that you talk to all the time, and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Or, you know, some of our friends are like, fuck the world. You know what I mean? And then something hitting your life. You know what? Fuck the world. You know?
And then you find yourself, it's like that crab in the barrel theory. You find yourself in that barrel with everybody else, sucking you in. But what are they sucking you into?
And you got to be careful. You know, you can pick and choose traits from everywhere, but you have to be intricately yourself, because of the fact that, first of all, you got to be in the skin you're in. But picking up traits from everybody else only, you know, takes away some of the you know what I mean? How it might work for that person to be like F the world, it might not work for you. That's not your thing. So yeah, so watch who you role model yourself after. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that was one of my things. And I don't know if you wanted to share a quote.
I do have a quote. Did you have anything?
I did, only because, and let me just tell you guys something. I'm gonna keep it real. Can we play some music? No, I'm just joking. Okay. I'm gonna keep it real. So I've had like a little bit of a rough patch.
Before
and so every time
that, I want to read this quote.
Okay.
Before you go into that, I feel like I need to read my quote.
She feels like me.
And then you can go
into
I put
what
my
hands
saying.
Up like this?
I feel, and you know, guys, each show is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get that turn up, lit show, but it's going to bring it back home. And this show might be one of those shows, and that's okay. Because this quote right here, I like to do things that all my quotes represent what my week was like, right? And I went to go visit my sister. I was so proud of her. I'm still really proud of her. But my heart is heavy, you know, and I have to keep it real. I have to keep it real with myself, keep it real with you guys. My heart is heavy. And so this quote, it's one of those things that keeps coming back to me. And so I said, this is what I need to give the people. For whatever reason, maybe I'm trying to learn from it. Maybe other people can learn from it too. So, and then I want you to go and see if this quote doesn't have anything to do with what you're about to talk about. So it says, you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one.
Absolutely.
Like you cannot, I'm going to read it again. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm having conversations with people recently about just closing that chapter.
Yes, let it go.
Closing that chapter in the book, because guess what? You can't keep rereading the same page. No matter how many times you read the book, the words ain't never going to change.
Right. And that's actually if the last chapter was good. Exactly. Even if the last chapter was the bomb.com,
exactly.
You need to move on, or that's the end. There's no other chapter. Like, you still have to... Unfortunately and fortunately, life is about progression. It doesn't stop. No matter what's going on today. That's why, you know, church songs say trouble don't last always. Yes, it doesn't last always. The good times don't last always either. No. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that in life that is constant is change. And so please be prepared for things to change. But you got to flip that page if you want to keep on moving.
And you got to flip the page, or sometimes you got to close the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you got to close the book and you got to be ready to rewrite a new book. And that's okay. Yeah. Because the great thing about this life that we had is you have an opportunity to write as many books as you want.
Yeah, that's true.
But what you can't do is undo what is done.
Right.
So when it's time to close it, you got to close it.
I gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta let it go, and you gotta be able to just move on from it. And you gotta see that, guess what? When you rewrite the book, you have the opportunity to write whatever you want to write in that book.
Yeah.
You don't have to write that story that you wrote last time,
right,
or chapter 3 or chapter 4. Guess what? When you rewrite it, you can flip the pages just like this to a whole new book.
Right.
And that's the great thing about this thing called life, is that you don't have to live every day the same.
Right.
You can change your choices. You can make your choices, and you can be different. And even when it comes to this show, like, we could have sat there and kept saying, we're going to do this, and kept rewriting and writing the same line. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do.
We're gonna.
End of the day, we got to realize, say, you know what, let's close this. We're done with this. It's time to write the new SipsTea show.
Let's see.
It's time to do what we really got to do.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to do that with family.
We actually did that, though, because...
We did. We wrote a lot of books.
Yeah.
We wrote a lot of books. But guess what? I think that we got the book that we have the bestseller. right? We have the bestseller because we're here and we're doing what we got to do every day. And you cannot be afraid to write a new book.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to stay in that circle where this is where they're comfortable at. They don't mind rereading chapters. They know how the story ends.
Right. Yeah, and they're not scary anymore.
And it's not scary anymore because they know how the story ends. They know how this person is going to, what this person is going to do, or what.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, and this is no lie, no shade. Life is scary as fuck sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real. Like, it's scary. It's scary because you don't know. There are too many things that you don't know. And that's why you got to get you some things that you trust in, some things that, you know, are always, you know what I mean? This is always the truth. You know what I mean? And that's why
look for those characters that never changed in the book.
Yeah. And guess what? The character that never changed, in the book is actually non-existent though. Because you are a character in the book. Some of them are constants. They will always be there. You know what I mean? You're the character that's in the book.
You can write their ending.
You can write their ending. That person changes. You know, your cousins and them, mom, your daddy, whoever it is, those characters will always be there, but we're human, so we're subject to change at any given time. I mean, and that is a plus. Like, you can reinvent yourself at any given time. You can pick up and say, you know what? No, the next chapter I'm gonna be a whole bitch. Because sometimes that's what I be thinking. I be like, you know what? I'm about to be a whole bitch. I really am, because I'm sick of this nice girl. But yeah, so that is one thing. So, but I definitely agree with what you were saying. And I was going to just keep it real with you guys.
Now, with that saying, now go into your real.
I was going to keep it real because I need to, you know, we have technical difficulties. We have this, we have that. We are trying. You are in the process of trying, and you are trying to move forward in anything, you know, that comes about. You know what I'm saying? We all say, oh, the devil is a lie, the devil's at work, and this, and this. It is what it is. The universe is sometimes not, you know, on your side with some things. You know, some things are things you did to yourself, and some things are things that other people do to you. But the road is hard. Yeah. It's rocky. You got to be prepared to climb. And so even coming here today, my heart was a little heavy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm tired of, and the dot behind that, the extra things, like, I'm tired of, and there was just a list of things that I was just tired of. And, you know, I have to get a readjustment. And the reason I'm trying to keep it real is because this happens to all of us all the time. Like, there's always going to be a list of reasons why you should not do whatever it is that you're doing. You should not do the things that you know you should have been doing because you started doing them. You know what I'm saying? And I actually opened up my Facebook. I subscribe to this group called Millionaire Minded. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of positive quotes. They do a lot of positivity anyway, motivation. These people are about visualizing, you know, places we go, it's awesome. So if you want to look it up, or if you guys are millionaire minded, like look up this group. They're on Facebook. They actually have a dial-in number where they do like a motivational call with people, all kinds of stuff. So Millionaire Minded. And they send me things in my text message every day. Wow. Several times. These things are constantly coming. And it just so happened that I opened up one that I posted last week because this one's important to me. And it says, every dream must pass the test of discouragement. Wow. You get to nowhere without being discouraged, but get nowhere if you are discouraged enough to quit. So if your discouragement causes you to just stop, then you get nowhere. Exactly. But if you do not suffer through discouragement, then your dream wasn't much of anything anyway. Like, and all of your dreams have to pass that test, because I promise you, the road gets rough. Nobody makes it to. Check out all of your moguls. Check out your music moguls. Check out your financiers. Check out anybody who has gotten anywhere. And I promise you, when they little stories, and 9 times out of 10, if they make any kind of money, there's a story online. Somebody did an unsung, somebody interviewed, somebody did something. There is always a story. Everybody has a story. We cannot keep on looking at everybody's finished product. wanting to be there at the finished product without saying, oh, well, I have to go through the blood and the sweat and the tears. So I promise you this, every time I look at our YouTube page, SipsTea the Show, and I know that we've been out here promoting, and I know that we've been, doing things on social media, X, Y, and all of this stuff, saying, hey, watch SipsTea the Show, yada, we got something for y'all. Every time I'm out here, every time I have those communications, every connection that I've made, and I look and I see, oh my God, this on YouTube where we drive people says six views. Wait, like I talk to more than 6 people a day. So fuck you mean, you know what I'm saying? That is discouraging. Like, to be honest, like I'm gonna have to keep it really, really, really real.
Yeah.
But the only way I get through that is by reminding myself at some point, all of the ones that have millions of viewers, they started off with 1. So it is what it is. But we do have to just remember that. And that was really powerful to me. And it actually brought me back to life just like that, because that is the truth. Every dream has to pass the test of discouragement. And if that's what we go through, the reward is so much richer. But anyway, woo! So
look, sis.
Girl, you want me?
Look, on a serious
I feel like going on.
Look, y'all. But on a serious note, though, you know that's powerful. Like that.
Thank you, girl. I shut it down. I shall sit down. Who else crying? Anybody else crying?
Who else is crying? Like,
anybody else crying?
Like, but you know what though? On a serious note, you know, we definitely
to the eyes. Tears. I'm sorry. Okay. You're wrong.
Look. I gotta see my co-host too. So I'm gonna see it through this. Yes, but no, on a serious note though, you guys, we consistently do what we gotta do, and like you said, I mean, this is not a thing we're doing, right? Where this is not a thing for us, right? This is not, oh, let's just get together every Wednesday and produce this show. That's not what this is about. This is about placing a platform to allow people to speak their truth.
Right. And to talk about the human experience.
Human experience.
This shit happens to us
every single day. And regardless of what this show and the production of this show goes through from week to week to week, our commitment, our promise, our vow to you is to come to you regardless of 1 view, 2 views, 6 views, 1 million views. We're going to bring it every single time the same fucking way.
We're just going to do it.
And we're just going to do it regardless.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you got to pick yourself up and dust yourself
we always are picking ourselves.
Like, it is what it is.
Like, you got to let's push through. When we don't feel like, let's push through. Both our hearts are heavy. Let's push through.
Right.
And that's why this show is going to go from 1 to 6 to 6 million to 1 billion and beyond, because this ain't fake for us.
This is happening.
This is gonna happen because our life, what we strive for depends on making sure that we put forth the effort to make sure that we live our dreams,
right? And
we brew our tea.
Okay.
So with that being said, let's brew the tea, baby.
Okay. So we're going to get into some tea time. We just going to breeze through some tea time. We really got to, we're excited. We actually we're thinking about, should we just bring back the whole, affinity section from last week? We wanted to talk about some things that we were looking into last week, but we got to talk about some things that have happened, because since my birthday, right before my birthday, I had called Beyonce on the phone. I was like, girl, everybody is talking about you. I had to call her because my daughter. Yes, because I'm like, girl, I could not. I said, B, and I had to keep it real with her too. I said, B, look, I can't even afford them on the run tour tickets, and since you throwing me shade to where I'm not gonna get it free, you gave Blue Ivy a ticket. Yeah, she get to go see.
She gave cousin out. She got your cousin out the way.
You know what I'm saying? She don't even need to be in no concerts, but she did. Okay, fine. So I'd be all right, but this is what I'm telling you. The word on the street is people tired. They tired, and they I'm saying, I told her because I'm your friend, I got you, girl. I said, B, son, on the streets, they are talking about you don't have no new stuff.
Exactly.
well, when we don't want no concert for the, that we paying an arm and a leg for with your old head.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and we talked about it for a minute. She was like, for real, they saying that? And I was like, yes, that's the hive, baby. Mm-hmm. They still love you or whatever, but hive is actually talking shit too.
Yeah, like, they all up in the
business. They making snaps. They talking about on Instagram. Everybody
they was going in.
They were going in to tell her, like, I don't let people talk about my people in the streets. And I don't say nothing. Like, I'm gonna let you know for nothing on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like my son say, I'm not even gonna hold you. I need to let you know what they out here about shit.
So what they saying?
So they be saying, like, everybody's like, okay, Beyonce, but like, gonna listen to the same songs.
Oh, they don't want
to be a single lady.
Oh, they
don't want the single lady remix. They want Lemonade.
They don't care about the acrobat.
And low key, they didn't even want. I mean, they was like, okay, and then Jay-Z, you threw him in there, but really care.
Yep.
They over him because first of all, he cheated.
So he did cheat.
I mean, that's what the song say.
First of all,
B will not tell me nothing that Jay did, but I'm telling you, the internet, the people on, the Beehive, when people sounding off my little Facebook timeline, everybody is me. Everybody is saying stuff. So I had to call her. I was like, nah. So what you want to do?
So he cheated.
She said, I got this.
Okay.
First of all, she don't talk about her relationship like that. She like, look, I'm gonna put it in the music. So we don't know what the hell happened. All we know is
just like Cardi B when she put up that song, "Be Careful." I'm like, are you still with the nigga or not?
She like, look,
careful. You wish for.
She's talking about having his baby. And that's
and now they having.
There we go. There we go. So so I called that conversation with Down.
Okay.
And right after that, she showed a nigga because most definitely. Here she come with her and Jay-Z's album. Yeah. They dropped the day before my birthday. I thought that was cute. I was like, that was cute, B. Yeah, so.
You know what?
Birthday was coming.
But you know why?
Was it Gemini season?
No, because you called her and gave it a heads up.
I did. So you gotta, so it was a problem. If it's a problem, you gotta tell your friends how to fix it. Like, son, all I'm saying is this is what is being said. Take it or leave it, whatever. So she was receptive. She said, I already got things, you know what I'm saying? You know how B did.
She already knew. She
already
knew. Guess what? She's an educated bitch, so she already knew that they were going to talk. Then she said, watch this, we want to put this out, and they about to start talking shit. Boom, they start talking shit. Now let's let them know what we do for the people.
And so I think they debuted at one of the actual concerts and things like that. And so word on the street is, and this is what I'm just reading.
He cheated. That nigga cheated.
I didn't say he cheated. I said the word on the somebody did this, that, and the other. You talking about Becky with the good hair. He talking about it is what it is. So that is my, that's my thing right now. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was cute how she dropped that album for my birthday or whatever. And that is called Everything Is Love.
Wow.
What?
I ain't a fan of that song.
What song?
The song that they posted.
The one with the, okay, so you guys let us know how you felt about the
but you know what though? I'm biased because I'm straight up. I'm not a Beyonce fan.
Okay, well you need to step aside. I'm gonna call her and tell her that too. Okay, well, then we're gonna lose another viewer. Fucking with B. I can't, Eb Deceleb, she not trying out here. She not really trying to make it.
I am, but
you don't make it. You do not make it by fucking with the Beehive. Let me tell you about that. That's what you don't.
I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real for the people.
I don't let you talk about her like that because all I'm saying is
I love Kelly Rowland.
Why you can't love Kelly Rowland?
I don't love.
So you guys let us know, how did you feel about because I know when I saw what's the name of it? I forgot the name of the freaking song. But I thought it was kind of cute. I had to rewatch the video like that. I had to rewatch the video because what is it? We made it or we made it.
We made it.
I
the same dance moves and the same shit.
But I understand the sentiment. Let me. How many times you gonna pump up one of the dance moves? That's what I'm saying about people. Y'all be hating it.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater.
You're a
my
super
nigga.
hater. Oh, but speaking of haters, let me just hold on.
Okay, wait.
Can we just move into, because I'm gonna have to tell y'all the Suga Honey Iced TEA about that.
Before we move to Honey Iced TEA, we gotta do a silent moment for my man who passed away. Okay. And it's becoming too routine.
Tentacion.
It's becoming too routine, because if you notice, for the last 3 weeks, we've reported suicide, now murder.
Right.
My people, when are we going to stay woke?
So she's talking about young rapper.
Young,
20 years old. Like, in Florida, got shot. Actually, one of my kids actually told me about it. Like, they're having a whole conversation. I said, what?
And a lot of people were crying. A lot of people were heartbroken. What I was more heartbroken was to see that somebody had the audacity to say, oh, that's his karma.
Yeah.
At what point does death become karma?
Yeah.
Like that's where we take it
too far. Yeah. I mean, do you think that after somebody passes, you just let it die? You know, because
before you
just like what we just talked about, everybody has their opinion about every freaking thing.
Exactly.
Everybody has man, first of all, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So we don't hold that to ourselves. Like, as soon as something happens, you're going to have to, like, okay, now I got to let you know how I feel about this and how I feel about that. And there's nothing that's really sacred about it.
Exactly.
You know, actually, one of the things that I was going to bring up as well is why is it that we only start to respect people
when they're dead?
Or like follow them or whatever. His according to, I think it's Billboard.com, his record sales like shot up through the roof.
But my thing is, why do we celebrate in death and can't appreciate in life?
Yes.
Like, I don't understand people. And then for the fact that when he's gone, we have so many things to say, whether it's karma, whether it's he was such a great influence or whatever. But when he's here on this earth, this is when there's opportunity to appreciate the person who they are,
right,
not who they were.
Right. And if you did not appreciate the person, how, do we still support you in death? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really wasn't rocking with this person,
because I'll be honest, I never listened to his music. Okay. But I was that person as soon as what is this guy? I mean, I followed him, I seen him, like, he cut his eyebrows off one time, and I said, oh, okay, he's interesting. But he's interesting. He's what the millennials are looking for. I didn't take it to the next step and say, let me listen to the music. But when he died,
and there's one thing. Okay, so there's one thing where I see there's a rise in the viewing or the listening and things like that. But the sale, you know what I mean? I expect if somebody dies and the world is going, oh my God, who is that person? Just like, you know, when I passed and they be like, yeah, GemDTwin and she was on SipsTea the Show, then, you know, I'm not trying to have that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please do not wait. Please do not wait till, you know, something happens and then,
one of us, you know, when you talk about you want to watch
when they doing GemDTwin song, then everybody come and watch the damn shit.
Be like, oh yeah,
no,
I used to watch that show.
Matter of fact, if anything ever happens, this SipsTea the Show disband and take a shit down. It's not even gonna be there for you to watch anymore. But no, it wasn't just the songs that people are like downloading. Like, now they're buying. You know what I'm saying? Like, give people their money while they're alive. You know what I'm saying? And technically, obviously, the support does not cost you anything. Even if it does cost you something, you're willing to pay it anyway. But that's my thing. I feel like that's the Suga Honey Iced TEA of that. So I definitely
think we need to give that
that's
a quiet moment. And there's people stay woke. Like, that was a senseless act. How he got murdered, going motorcycle shopping, whatever the case may be. That's sourced by I
will say, but
I mean,
he did have a rough life.
He had a rough life, you know,
and a rough go at it.
And he was out there putting things out there. However, he did have a positive spin. I did have an opportunity to watch him, but when listening to his music after the fact, I saw that he kind of knew he wasn't going to be out here long. because his music alluded to that.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, if somebody's here, celebrate them while they're here. Yeah. Celebrate us while we're here, because we're never promised tomorrow. And it goes back to what you're saying about living the dream. Understand that there's going to be challenges. Goes back to what I'm saying about close the chapter, moving on. Live in the moment.
Absolutely.
Live for today, because what's done is done yesterday. You can't change what's done is done.
It's done.
I can't change what's done is done. But what I can affect is what I'm doing now and what I'm going to do in the future. And it goes without saying to these young men, young people, killing them, whatever the case may be, live in the moment, appreciate for today, and keep encouraging people. Because even, I'll say this, a rapper, this is another source by Shade Room, the rapper 69, who was out here doing a lot of trolling on the internet and causing a lot of controversy among gangs, Crips and Bloods and all these different things. He even went on there and did a public announcement saying that this guy who just taught him so much, and was so positive, that it's making him want to change his life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But why not change our life in the present?
Right.
I affected somebody now, because when I'm dead, I'm dead.
Right.
I want to know that I affected somebody now. And so regardless, continue to uplift each other, because tearing each other down isn't going to work. Right. It ain't going to help nobody.
Absolutely.
Beating each other up, the thing that will continue to make this thing grow amongst each other, friends, family, whatever, is communication.
And no lies. Like, I'm not even like, okay, so no lies. I came from a mental health background. I was working in mental health. I love to help people. I love to see people flourish. I want to see you grow. I want to see myself grow. You know, I'm all about a reciprocal energy in life in general. Motivation, reciprocal energy, like, let's elevate each other. But I realized that some of those energies that I was putting out was actually was kind of bringing me down.
Yeah.
So when I thought about, hey, let's do SipsTea the Show.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about reciprocal energy, putting out a good vibe. So we can actually talk to each other and say, hey, let's not do the crabs in the barrel. Let's that and the other. You know what I'm saying? There's space for everybody in the game. So let's make it happen.
We definitely, our show is for the masses.
It's for the masses.
It's for the masses.
Okay,
I want us to really get into that infinity question. So let's go ahead and let's do the Suga Honey Iced. Who gets the sugar?
Okay, well, first of all, we have to say that Suga Honey Iced Tea, you guys, in general.
I had one from last week, but
who's your person last week? That's right.
Because
you went. Last week you made me go, and then you ain't even put your shit out there. So who is it? I might have to give me another contender.
I still have to make it relevant, because. So what happened was, and tell me what you think. This goes to the whole racial gentrification of the city, right? So we all know last week, shout out to the Capitals, won the Stanley Cup, woo, 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 whatever. So they had the parade, right? And so I'm on the train. I'm like, oh my God. And I knew that the train was about to be crazy packed. But I was like, I got to go to work. I came off just for the parade. So I was like, let me go to work. So I'm on the train. And as I'm on the train, you don't ride the train. So you don't know that green line life.
Yeah. Not with the
green line life be rough sometimes in the morning. You try and get to work and you just want to get on the train. Forget trying to get a seat. You just want to touch the bar. You want to know that you on that train. So you ain't got to wait another 19 minutes for the next train. So, if everybody on the train that really don't ride the train, right? So they're on the train and we trying to push through. So we got to the stop, Navy Yard stop. So I got me a seat because I said my stop is the second stop with that green line. So I got a seat, so I'm good. However, because they don't know how to ride the train, they're all crowding around the door. Right. And so this is we're at Navy Yard. It was kind of it was frustrating, I could tell, for a lot of people, but nobody really said anything.
Right.
So we get to Navy Yard, and then this black guy gets on. He's trying to get on the train, but you got an influx of people going to the parade. So they're going all slow, and it's 19 minutes to the next train.
Right.
And he's trying to get to the parade.
Somebody probably pushed the shit out of him. Okay, go ahead.
No. So he starts pushing his way to get on that train. I said, Lord God, let this man get on the train. So I'm thinking he's going to get on the train, kind of be calm. This man says, I'm sick. I'm loud. I'm I'm sick of you other effort. You know me, I'm just like, oh God. And I'm thinking, don't offload the train.
Please, nigga, don't start nothing. Please. Just let's ride.
Get to work. It's 19 minutes.
Right. Please
train.
don't make them offload. I already got me a seat.
So he gets on there. He said, I'm sick of you mother effers. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all talk about a Stanley Cup. DC, y'all ain't even from DC.
No.
They come in here for all these white folks. I'm sick of all these white folks who took over the city talking about DC. They don't know what the F because we're trying to work on our cussing.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to curse. We don't know what the F we done been through. I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to say shit because it's at the end. I'm sick of this shit. He's going on and on and on and on with a train full of white people.
Yeah.
And just going on.
They're so uncomfortable with this point.
I was very uncomfortable.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, why is he doing this? All the white people are looking at me. Like,
right.
I'm the nigga
you
saying
it. You his
I wasn't even saying anything. And they're looking at me. They're like, and then he started, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I said, God, where is Mount Vernon Square? And so then the guy was like, chill out. Chill out. He said, chill out. I'm trying to get the bag. And y'all, what he said something. He said, y'all going to go march to the parade, and I'm trying to get to my bag. I'm trying to get to the money. He said, I can't take off to go to a parade. I got to go get paid. No, he said, y'all got to go to the parade, and I'm trying to get paid.
He had a whole thing with his.
And so the guy is like, so he ended up pushing the guy, chill out, man, chill out. He said, what? And so the guy's little girlfriend the white guy was on the train, but she was real short. So she was kind of standing over him. So he pushed her by accident. Oh. The black guy did. It was a total accident. We witnessed it. And then he said, she's like, why did you push me? And the white guy pushed that black guy.
Oh.
And when that door opened, them bitches went to tumbling.
Really?
On the train. And do you know what I thought about?
How he wasn't going to get to his coin because...
I thought about we at Chinatown Gallery Place. One stop to my damn stop, and we all gotta offload the train.
Yeah. I'm not with this shit.
I'm not with it. Like they called the transient police.
Yeah. So the lesson, the moral of that story is number one, like, what do they say? You cut off your nose and spite your face or whatever that saying is.
I was mad.
Meaning basically, bro, if you had shut your ass up and just gone with it, because I understand, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been on the train or whatever, you know, it was not like that recently
train is
to where, but I mean, rush hour is a bitch.
Look, I would choose my train when y'all people don't catch the metro. I'm not being a racist. I ain't racist. And I love my white people and whatever other races out there. But I know what train is coming. When I get down to Mount Vernon Square, there's two trains. Huntington, Green Line. When I see a lot of black people on the train, that's the Green Line train. Okay.
Right. We're not going over there.
When I see the Huntington train, a lot of white people, that's the Yellow Line train. So I know when to fly. Right. I know when I need to run and catch that train. Or I need to up there. That's my wife.
But did you know what? Okay, I know it's a frustrating situation.
Green Line train is wrong.
Okay, because he might actually get it this time, just because. Number one, I'm not. I'm not with this shit for.
Real quicker. Here's the quick before you go into it. Because now, here's the thing: when the kicker, they got this stuff on video. That I had to get off the train and try to walk to work through the parade because I was like, I can't wait another 19 minutes. I'm late and they're docking me. So. But the black guy obviously whipped the shit out of the white, obviously. But then the police went and attacked the black guy.
They went and attacked him?
Yeah. They were like chasing him down. Like they were like trying to get him off of the white guy. Like they were pulling him back. And they put the black guy, and see where they got it on video, because they locked the black guy up. Mm-hmm. Technically, it was a white guy who started it.
Right.
But then automatically
locked
the black guy up.
But was he whooping the guy's ass?
He was.
He's got to go.
But
I mean, technically, that's just how it goes. Like, if somebody is beating you down in the street, how are you going? They're gonna have to pull you off of them.
So you might can pull me off, but don't put me in no handcuffs just because I'm whooping their ass. Because I done been in a situation.
So when they broke them up, they did not put the white guy.
No, that's what people were saying because the white guy was in more distress facially, so not realizing that the black guy didn't start. Yeah, he was talking shit, but didn't put his hands on anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't put his hands on somebody until he felt that he had to defend himself. And that is when he was like, oh, wait a minute.
Right. Well, guess what? That whole story sounds like some fuckery to me. I'm not with any of the shit that you just actually outlined. Y'all let me know how you feel about that. I'm not with it. Let me tell you several things about why I'm not with it. Okay. You frustrated. We all frustrated. I get frustrated every freaking day. For you to jump your ass, my brother, on the train and have all of that to say to the point where you feel uncomfortable, bruh, shut the fuck up. Like,
I would say that because I just wanted to get off the train.
He just said he wants to get to the bag. He real mad because this, that, and the other is happening. He already, first of all, he did not get to the bag that day. So this is the reason why, like I said, I'm not with the shits because guess what? You just did the exact opposite of what you needed to be done. And when you out there hooping and hollering and you making this, that, and the other happen, you know what I'm saying? You are a catalyst. You did. The person, he might not have thrown the first punch, but he did set it in motion.
I wonder what happened.
If he got on there, first of all, everybody, according to your story, I wasn't there, but according to you, he pushed onto the train, okay? So, a little rude, but you make sure that you do to get on there in the morning. You got to do what you got to do, okay? So, so we're going to disregard that part. Okay, so you did that. You get on the train. And now, instead of just being upset to yourself or blah, blah, blah. You got to go give it a whole freaking testimony to where you're actually making other people feel uncomfortable because you just won't shut the fuck up. Like, we all got to ride for the rest of this ride with you ranting. I'm not with it. Not with it. Don't do that. Like,
he could have said what he said and let it
go.
But I wonder what happened to him. I really do. But they put him in.
I have sympathy. I'm sorry. I have no sympathy. But I do
wonder what happened because the guy.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
The white guy was like, "It's all good. It's all good." But the other guy. So I wonder if they let him go.
Do a follow up,
But that was my shit but that was last week. So because
he was like, look, I'm trying to take up. I don't care. He about to take up for his girlfriend. Yeah. And this is what I tell people too. Yeah. Like, you about to be in a fight, right? Yeah. Or if there's something happening. You walk up, say me and Eb Deceleb, we going toe to toe
for you.
But no, look, we going toe to toe, me and you, right? I don't know you, but we going toe to toe. I decide I'm going to smack you. I can't control your reaction. If she wants to punch me in my eye after I slapped her, I can't be mad because she punched me in my eye. I put my hands on her. I set it in motion.
Don't be surprised.
If you punch me in my eye and I decide to shoot you, you can't control. All I'm saying is you don't know where the next person is going to take it. So beware. All I'm saying is people, because a lot of times, and women do this, a lot of times I hear it in like domestic situations or whatever the case may be. And because all I did was grab your arm. Well, you grabbed my arm in such a manner that it made me want to punch you in your face because I felt away. You can't, once you started, you cannot control how the other person finishes. That's all I'm saying. You can't control that. You know what I mean? Smack you, you punch me. I can feel bad because you punched me and all I did was smack you, but I can't control that. So that's the shits that I'm not with. So
do we want to give that the shits award? Or?
I mean, the whole situation gets the shits award because I'm not with none of that shit. Like from the rooter to the tutor. From the rooter to the tutor.
So that's the shits award. And I definitely wanted to really quickly talk about DetoxTEA because we only have a few minutes and then get into the Infinity real quick. We can. I definitely want
let's just go into Affinity. We got to talk about these relationships because last week we actually had a question that was posed, and you guys can tune in. Chime in as we continue on. But the question from last week was, how do you accept falling out of love? Number one, that was part A. And then how do you accept someone falling out of love with you? That was part 2. So,
and for that question, we're going to say, is your cup full?
Is your cup full?
Is your cup full?
Because you might need a little sip of sip.
Now, because different segments of the tea calls is for a little more alcohol.
Hello.
It calls for a little more tea.
Let's
we gotta really digress into this shit.
Yeah.
So is your cup
Is your cup full? Okay, because we about to fill it up. All right. So when you talk about somebody falling out of love with you, and I felt like when we talked about this, the question was, how do you accept someone falling out of love with you? One of my things is the question is funny though. Accept it, because you don't have a choice. When we have no control over another person's actions. Mm-hmm. So the acceptance is one of those things where it's either you gonna accept it or you
either gonna accept it.
You better turn the page in that book.
You're gonna either accept it and deal with it and progress, or you're not gonna accept it, live in it, and digress.
And guess what? The other person is still gonna go on and do what they do, because
they still gonna I think they've already accepted it. They
did it.
They did it.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, actually, there have been some I remember reading an article. I'm sorry, I can't remember what the article was because it was so long ago. But my sister and I talk about this often, where they did a study, and it was on breakups, and they were saying that when someone breaks up with you, it actually makes you releases this chemical between your relationship, to where even if you didn't want that person, it makes you feel away because they broke up with you, losing your power. And I tell people all the time, like, bruh, leave that shit alone. To keep it real, like, I've had so many people break up with me, and I just was like, oh, okay, because while they were breaking I was not the breaker-upper. Yeah. You know, I was not the upper. I'm not that type of person, really. I keep trying shit. Like, I'm a trier.
You're gonna work. You're gonna because it's sometimes hard to just let go, and you find yourself trying to do everything to try one. That when that person does break up with you, it's like almost a sign of relief. But then on the flip side, you're like, did I really just give them that control to make me feel away?
Well, see, and that's why I said you can come to the other side of it with part of my acceptance is always take a look at the book, baby. You wrote it. You know, you can actually go back. This is when I think that chapter, the book and all this other stuff, talk about turning the page and getting to the new chapter. If you want to read the chapter, that is a good time to do it. If you want to go back and figure out what happened. You go back and flip back in there, because you can tell whether or not this person was actually toxic for you. Exactly. You like, oh yeah, well on this day, okay, oh wow, yeah, because this looked like I ain't give a fuck about me. Oh yeah, and then and on, yeah, I remember that too.
And then it makes it easier for your reality to become, once you go back and reread that book. This is the only time where it's socially acceptable to reread that chapter. When you're trying to figure out, well, how do I accept this person falling out of love with me? Boom. Well, in chapter 2, they showed me who they really were.
Yeah, I felt like, there have been so many relationships.
In chapter 3, they were like, okay, this is who I am. But in chapter 4, no, I'm not changing, baby. Either take it or leave it. In chapter 5, they committed to who they were.
And mind
in
you,
chapter 6, you were like, bam.
All these chapters, you're saying, baby, please, baby, please.
Yeah.
And you
begging.
So, I know personally for me, there was a relationship.
Your personal experience, and I'm mine.
There was a relationship that I was in, and I knew it wasn't very, very healthy, but I was teeter-tottering. Like I said, I'm a trier. So I want these things to work. I want them to last, yada, yada, yada. Once I love you, I love you. And I try to, whatever, because love is forgiving. You know what I mean? I have kids. I have my mom. I have great examples of love and how love is supposed to feel, what love is supposed to do, the sacrifice, all that. Okay, yeah. But, as the relationship was coming to a close, and when these things are happening, when the relationship is coming to a close, I began to journal about what was going on. Because me personally, I don't know if it's just my Gemini, I don't know if it's my forgiving spirit, I don't know what it is, but me personally, I tend to forget. Like, I'm over that shit. Like, I am over stuff so quickly that I knew I had to remind myself what I was mad at, why I was mad. And more importantly, so I started a journal and I wrote down what happened, what the scenario was, the facts of what happened. This is what was said. This is what happened. And then I wrote how that made me feel. Because a lot of times you have to remember how something made you feel at the time, because that's the only reason that you can't get over it. When you feel broken, when you feel abused, when you feel alone and lost and hurt and this and this, those are your real emotions. When it's based on an action that was done to you by someone else and you have a specific thing. Oh, I felt abused because you hit me in my face. That's a real thing. Or I
really
felt...
quickly, I want to interject. Write down those feelings as they happen, because what happens is if you try to write them down after the fact, you find justification. You have to actually write them down as they happen real time, so that if you go back, there's no justifying why you hit me in my face.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was just... Because then after that, you got time to think about it.
Right.
Oh, well, maybe blah, blah, blah. No, you write it down as it's happening so you can reflect real emotion.
Right. Right. But yeah, that was my thing. Actually, when the person came back, so we did end up breaking up, and the person came back, and of course I love this person. And so the only way that I could I had to go back. I picked up my book, and when I thought that I was going to go back, because of course, you know, after you break up, or that person breaks up with you, then they come back. They come back. You know what I mean? They come back, and then I'm like, you know, my heart wants you because my heart wants this. My heart is still in that space, whatever. But I go back to the book, and I will. And I actually sat there and I cried through that book because I had forgotten that you made me feel this way. And how can the things that I wrote was not a reflection of love? And it was so easy for me after that to go, no. And the person actually sat there and she cried and she cried and she cried. And I'm like, no. And you know why? Because I cried those tears.
Yeah.
I cried those tears. And when I cried those tears, you didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And now you have the nerve after breaking up with me and after breaking up with me, after I have to pick myself up off the ground by myself, and you come back to me with tears? No. Thank you. Look, I'm like shocked. Oh, girl, you did, girl.
You got a reference point.
We can look. Remember when you had did that?
And this girl, is when you do this. And remember, and then you want a copy?
On January 3rd,
do you want a copy?
Shoot, yeah, so exactly. I can give you a copy as to why this is not going to work at all. No, we're not going to work this out.
I like that.
But yeah, it's not going to work.
But you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Like I had like you, I went through, for me, I went through the same. I went through a very rough time. I mean, extremely rough, where I had, at one point, I was questioning myself. I'm like, wait a minute. This cannot be my life. You know, you give your all you do is realize, what am I chasing? Mm-hmm. When you start putting down facts and reality versus what could be and fantasy,
what your wants,
what your wants are, you start looking at the pictures.
Right.
And when the pictures start not adding up, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, my reality versus the reality that I want to be,
they're not matching. Yeah. So when somebody falls out of love with you, know that they fell out of love with you before they fell out of love with you. Their actions fell out of love with you. But it's on to us that we want to accept them. So when I was going through my breakup, my most recent breakup, and I went through it justified because I wasn't journaling at first. Mm-hmm. So I would be able to, when they came back with the I'm sorry's and the tears, because I didn't have a reference point, I was like, oh, okay. Because we so easily forget, because guess what? Love is a drug that cannot be contained or controlled, right? It's going to always press its buttons.
You want it.
You're going to want it. Love is a drug that cannot be contained or controlled. Remember that, right? But then I had to start realizing, when I started doing my journaling, that's when my reality set in. Because versus what she was coming with, no, well, you did this, and this on this day. And you did this on this and this. Were you crying then?
No,
I'm sorry.
absolutely
Were you shedding
not.
tears on January 3rd, 2017?
Right. No, it seems like on that day you were cool.
You were actually quite wonderful. And I was crying the tears on January 3rd, 2017. So then when my reality started playing a picture, when I started seeing that this person was changing the individual that I am, and then I started seeing that, guess what? You fell out of love with me.
And I think that is important to remember that is an important question. Even more so than how do you accept somebody falling out of
love with you?
Yes.
How do you accept falling out of love with yourself?
Yeah.
And when you can face yourself, and this is real time, this is real shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you can figure out why you fell out of love with you, everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters, because if you love you more than anybody else can love you, no one else could ever compare. And that is how I got over.
Stop settling for things.
And then you, exactly. And then once you start loving, everything's a trickle down effect, my baby girls and boys, like you said.
And then
you stop settling.
Right.
For the bullshit. You start seeing like, okay, this is the person that I want because I deserve it. Not because, I'm just looking for love. No, because I deserve it. Because now I'm in the position where Ebony Christina Liddell, you now know my whole name, loves Ebony Christina Liddell. So anything you can offer to this perfect person that I've already developed and is still growing is extra.
Right.
And that's, for me, how I figured out to get through my breakup, is how to figure out how to love me so much that no one else love could compare.
Right. And part of that breakup handbook, you're going to have to put in some things, like some affirmations to yourself, some things that rebuild who you are to yourself.
Put it on your mirror.
Something for you to get that love back, because how to accept.
Then you have that
millionaire minded. Yeah.
Do something like that. Get some apps into your phone, Bible or whatever it is that you got to wake up and you see that phone and says, boom, I am beautiful.
When you're not getting that good morning text.
Exactly.
Yes. At least you're going to get somebody popping some positivity in there. But I think that that's part of the question, saying how do you accept somebody falling out of love with you, is to fall in love with yourself again.
That's what it is.
You know, so if that's the short form answer, that's the only thing I can say in order to accept somebody falling out of love with you, is to just fall in love with yourself. Because, you know, if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? What are you holding on to? If that person does not love you, what are we holding on to?
What are we doing?
What are we holding on to?
Like people said, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
So y'all chime in. Y'all let us know what you think about that and how you feel about that. And we had to touch on that because, you know, it came up last week. Last week was great with the questions were kind of coming in. And so I didn't want to forget to go back and, you know, go over that whole situation. And that kind of rolls us into the whole detox situation, because I would basically, that's kind of the thing.
That is the thing.
Fall in love with yourself.
You love with you. If it's going to the gym, if it's downloading the app and working out 7 minutes, if it's just going outside or drinking more water, whatever it is that's going to make you fall in love with who you are. And unfortunately, as we are people and we are human, that physical physique means a lot to all of us. And I'm sorry, every human the same way. We look at the mirror, we want to like what we see.
Yeah. But you know what I realized also is, it's not just the physical part of it.
It's the mental.
It's the journey that goes with it, though, because 9 times out of 10, when you are eating right, when you are going to the gym, it's not because you changed overnight, but because you feel like you're doing something for yourself and you're giving yourself that particular self-love drug and that whatever with yourself, you're winning already.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing that somebody else can do is come in and
that
enhance that. But
that also goes with that detox tea, like you said, right into falling in love with yourself, falls in line with that detox tea.
Right, and we're gonna have to. I'm gonna write that. And yes, fall in love.
So what are we doing now? So next week we're definitely gonna pick up where we left off, guys. Once again, our time is up.
Yeah.
We've done our show. We gave you guys 11 minutes extra because we really wanted to hit into this infinity, because it was a question that needed to be answered. However, we will pick up always where we have questions that you need answers to. We will spend the time to find the answers to. We will give you what worked for us, because I'm sure in her life she's gone through the experiences. I've gone through some experiences, and you've gone through some experiences. So let us know what worked for you.
I mean, because we have to actually, collaborate and help.
We have to collaborate because this is a human experience.
Why we're here. That's the reason
why we're here. But so with that being said, guys, it is our time to be out. I do miss the music. However, I love the show. I got emotional because it's real. But
yeah, I
made me cry. Whatever.
When you pumping out that real,
right.
And it hits you, you be like, Jim.
Why you do me like that, Sean? What you say? This why I got to look for this because you had a birthday. You getting a little bit.
That wise. Like
you speak that.
Girl, you better turn this off before I come up with another gem.
All right, y'all. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check us out on the and once again, subscribe to the page, share the page, tell your friends about what we're doing. This is a live form for you guys. Your voices will be heard. And watch us again next Wednesday. Look out for what we're posting. Look out for where we're at. We'll continuously post that. We got some things going on this weekend, so hope to see you out there soon. We'll post about that.
Yeah.
And then fall in love with yourself.
Yeah.
Fall in love with yourself. Also goes back to your quote that you quoted earlier, really quickly, if you wanted to stress that really quickly.
What was my quote?
We're doing a recap. Fall in love with yourself.
Okay, we're gonna.
And then I want to close that chapter.
My millionaire
and then yours says, I want it.
Okay, every dream must pass the test of discouragement. So, this week as you go out there, you doing your thing, you know what I'm saying?
You fall in love with yourself.
You fall in love with
closing chapters.
If you fall down, just know that that's a step for you to get to where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So the discouragement is actually.
Look, I'm grabbing the mouth.
I know you touching shit. She's not to touch things. I don't know why she keeps touching.
I be trying to get my co-host out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get me up out of here. I'm done with this shit. Like,
but you guys know seriously.
Love you a lot.
We have loved you. Thank you so much for watching.
She wouldn't do this next week.
Okay, she all up in it.
I am.
All in it. Got her boobies all in it.
I appreciate it.
And you said, are you sure you want to end stream? She don't even know how to do it.
Well, did you do it? Well, I'm doing it.